Is going on, family? So I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet, but I wanted to give an update now that we are about 3 weeks in post round one of this procedure that I had to have done so that I can walk again properly anyway. But yeah, I just wanted to give a general update about what's going on, real talk moment kind of thing. Short and sweet, to the point. Before I let myself forget, make sure that you like and subscribe, join, hit the notification bell, all of that happiness. Make sure that you check out the Patreon. If you see a perk in one of the options that you like there, go ahead and sign up, help a brother out while he's down and out, basically rebuilding himself from the ground up so that he can finish building his bus. All that said and done, like I said, it's been about 3 weeks, give or take about 3 to 3.5 weeks since I got this procedure started and started getting things moving forward with that and getting my health where it needs to be in general. As far as things going on with the bus, up to the point where, basically the day before I went to have this process started, I got a decent amount of stuff done. I got a couple videos that I just finished in around that time, and I'm in the midst of uploading as of right now because it took me a minute to get myself up to the point of being in the mindset of being able to, one, do more videos while I'm down, because I've been back and forth about the concept of whether or not I wanted to do videos while I was recovering or not, as well as being able to put in the mental and physical energy to do the editing and get the videos that I've already done up to before I went in for my first procedure uploaded, ready to be uploaded, and then actually uploaded for the channel. So yeah, all of that. So got a couple videos done before I went under. Got most of the things I wanted to get done internally done beforehand, so I don't really have much left to do. As I believe mentioned in one of my previous videos when I was going through a breakdown of what I had left, one of the things I don't think I mentioned that I did finish that I need to do an actual video on once I perfect it, because I got it working. It's my shower. So I got a nice recirculating shower set up that I was able to test out and use, and it worked well. But there's a couple of hiccups that I need to take care of so that it functions at peak efficiency and functionality. But yeah, it worked. I had it running off of one of my batteries, and for the hell of it, because I had nothing better to do that particular day, once I got it up and running and tested and saw that it was working, took about a 2.5 hour shower, and it worked flawlessly. So, well, not flawlessly, but it worked well enough for me to be happy with saying that the base concept of what I was coming up with works, and it works well. I don't want to give away too many specifics about it because I want to actually show it, showcase it once I've got the last few bugs out of it and got it where I want it to be. But yeah, it works, and it works great. It can only be improved. So that's that. I don't quite remember all of what I had in my checklist ahead of now, and I don't have all of my notes and everything with me because I made it a point to come to getting this procedure done with as few items as I possibly could. I just basically wanted to make sure everything was secured and put away when it came to the bus and it came to my shop and everything else, because I wasn't quite sure if having the procedure done and getting things going would land me in an actual rehab facility or not, which, as you can see from the backdrop behind me, it did. I just wasn't sure, how functional I would be right after, but I prepared myself just in case I wasn't going to end up in a facility for rehabilitation. I prepared myself whether it could go one way or the other. So that was like one of the main things I spent the last few days before I had things happen, just spend my time doing, making sure that everything was secured in the bus, making sure I didn't have any security breaches. Everything was as organized as it could be for the most part for me to be able to get around once I got back, blah, blah, blah. I will admit, because, I'm not, shall we say, a spring chicken. I'm not young. I'm not super young. Anyway, I'm not really that old either, but in either event, this is the first time I've ever had to deal with this as a thing. Like, I've never had any surgeries before this. And so, I could only prepare to such a degree, not knowing what I was getting myself into experientially. And all I could really do was find references online about how what I needed to do was done and what it would look like with me having to deal with like the brace that I'm wearing and the aftermath and blah, blah, blah. Just a bunch of research, looking into stuff, trying to figure stuff out, figure if I can really get a grip on something I've never experienced before. And truth be told, I was nowhere near prepared. Not conceptually about what had to be done, how it was going to play out, the whole nine. But I got through it. That's what matters. After a few weeks of getting as much bed rest as I possibly can and allowing things to heal in a timely manner, and having a little bit of back and forth with physical therapy so that I could get more rest when I know I needed more rest versus trying to get up and do things when they wanted me to get up and do things, because you know how insurance is. Anybody that lives in America understands how that all plays out, so I'm not going to get into semantics and specifics, but you get what I'm saying. So all that aside, I'm finally at a point where I'm, shall we say, alive enough to want to get back in the swing of things and keep you guys abreast of what's going on and just put out more videos in general. So this is the beginning of me doing that in the midst of my rehab. So that's all I really wanted to say. That's all I really wanted to put out there for now, because I don't really have a plan, shall we say, as far as like doing videos in the midst of rehab, what I want to cover, what I want to tell you guys about, or whatever. There's no real like rhyme or reason behind it at the moment, so I'm just going to, sorry for the shaking, I have to actually hold the camera at this point because I did not bring my harness or my stand or anything with me to be able to shoot videos, because I honestly wasn't sure if I was even going to, one, be in here, let alone two, shoot videos. So it is what it is. Anyway, if you guys have any questions, aside from the obvious, don't dig into too much personal stuff in general and whatnot, feel free to ask them in the comments. This is basically proving that I'm alive and generally well, getting better. That's pretty much all I wanted to say, pretty much all I have to say at the moment. As I'm progressing in my rehabilitation, I'm trying to get back into the groove of dealing with a couple of things and trying to be more productive. So hopefully I will be able to make time and have general energy to be able to produce videos a little bit more frequently while I'm in my downtime until I get back to working on the bus again. I did get my solar panels in for my roof, so I was able to get that situated before all of this came to a head, and I have them. They're just not on the roof yet. I'm still working on figuring out best course of action for mounting them, as well as like how I want to mount them, what I want to use as far as materials. I figured out pretty much where I want to mount them. They're pretty much I say pretty much a lot. Anyway, they are going to be essentially covering the majority of the roof and centered between the front and the back of the roof for the most part. I don't have any kind of schematics as of yet. I just have the measurements that my friend was able to help me get. So I'm basically going off of that, trying to figure out how I can get them lined up as efficiently as possible, figure out what kind of railing system I'm going to use, and figure out how I'm going to run cabling where it needs to go. Because so far, the only setup that I've worked with has been my individual batteries working with a single panel. So I know I got to figure out, I get the concept in my head, but I got to actually look into it so I have a visual and functional concept to really play with when it comes to connecting multiple solar panels to a single input or output. I got pretty much all of the hardware. I think I'm pretty sure I have all of the hardware necessary for my electrical box. So it's really just a matter of getting all of that set up, getting the wires ran where I want them to be, which can happen at the beginning or the end. It really doesn't matter. I have a fuse box that I'm utilizing, so I can just leave the fuses empty until I get everything ran where I need it, so no power's going through anything. I can't, shock myself or anything. Anyway, get all of that situated, set up, as well as getting the panels where they need to go, get everything plugged in, and I'll be good to go. I made sure that I had enough that, generally speaking, I should be able to stay off grid for a decent amount of time, even in bad weather. We will see how that plays out in actual practicality, but conceptually, I think I'm good. So we'll see. Plus, I think I'm gonna. I've been chewing on this concept for a few days, actually a couple of weeks, but I may or may not decide to, at least initially, augment a lot of my electrical setup with something propane related or gas or something like that, because my ultimate goal is to basically be all the electricity all the time. I don't really want to power much of anything in the bus without electricity, because I intend on having at least 3 to 4 different methods of being able to charge my batteries. Obviously, solar is one of them. I want to try to figure out what it takes to get my alternator on the bus connected to the setup so that I can charge off of that. And I got a couple other ideas as emergency backups for if both or all of that fails. Either or, both, all, whatever. You get what I'm saying. Anyway, all that said and done, I'm going to try to figure that out once I get back on my feet, figuratively and literally. And we'll go from there. But yeah, if I had to give it a number, I would say that the bus is about 85%, maybe 90% done in its current state. Obviously, like I mentioned before, I have other stage 2 things I want to do later on down the line. We're talking about stage 1. Stage 1 being getting everything in there, getting everything functional, getting everything usable so that I can actually use the thing to start doing things and, moving forward with my life. Then when I have a window of opportunity within the coming year, I can handle stage 2, which will be some of the intricacies that make things more functional, better, more efficient, blah, blah, blah. And of course, I'm probably going to, until the thing is no longer in my possession for whatever reason that may be, upgrade everything that I can, because anytime I see an opportunity to make something more efficient, I'm going to. Since I built it all myself, it's not like I'm going to, complain about the concept of, oh, you know what, I can make this more efficient. I should pay somebody to deal with it. I'm not going to do that. That's the long and short of that. I'm going to cut this now because I'm going to start into repeating myself and saying things I've already said, which I've already done a general review multiple times. So, thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys for following. I hope that this part of my journey is valuable to you guys. I hope that me exposing this part of my journey is valuable to you guys, showing that I'm human, showing that things happen. Life can be ridiculous and crazy, and you just got to roll with the punches and do what you got to do to make life function the way you need it to function. Be adaptable and yada yada yada. Anyway, if I don't cut this now, I'm going to get into a whole other tangent and use up all the time I have left on my phone for the right now for recording. Anyway, thank you all again. I appreciate you guys for being followers. I appreciate you for subscribing if you just subscribed. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. I will probably be trying to shoot one sooner rather than later so I can actually say more of what I needed to say, because I definitely feel like I have more to say at the moment, but I don't have the space available to speak my mind right now. So I'm talking about the phone, not where I'm at. Just wanted to clarify. Anyway, I'm out. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, enjoy life. Continue building your buses if you're out there building your own. If you have been thinking about building them, building your own, I hope that I inspire you to do so. And I hope that all of these videos are valuable to you guys in some shape, form, or fashion moving forward. Peace.